Jai Hind everyone. Today I am going to deliver a lecture on the computer architecture and the organization, an important topic in this unit, that is bus arbitration, and its code is BMC 105. Now what the topics I am going to cover is the bus system, bus arbitration, and the types of the bus arbitration, that is your daisy chain method, polling or rotating priority method, independent request method. When we are talking about the bus, it normally comes in terms of the architecture. If we are speaking that what do you mean by the bus? The bus means that it is a set of electrical wires, if you say, that connects various hardware components of the computer system. So you see the different computer, different hardware components of the computer system. That is your, if you say that the wires which are going in connecting our hardware, they are known as the bus. So here the definition, if you see the definition, is the set of electrical wire lines that is termed as your bus. Okay, so we say that in terms of the architecture point of view, we say that bus is an electronic pathway that transfer data between the components of the computer or a network through your electrical wires. Okay, our signals are flowing, so these are the bus in terms of the architecture, and mainly the bus uses the signals that moves at different speed at the different channel. The speed is not same. The speed, you can say that speed, if you say that speed from one channel to other channel, the speed is different. So bus uses the signals to flow that data, right? But it is connected. But what is bus? It is a set of electrical wires. We have to keep in mind that it is a set of electrical wires, and in terms of the computing or in the architecture point of view, we say that it is an electronic path that transfers the data between the components of a computer of a network, right? Now bus is also, you can say that bus is a high speed internal connection, because we are sending the signal. When we are talking in terms of the hardware or in terms of the architecture, we mainly see that our different wires are going inside the CPU and connecting the registers and connecting the different things in the inside our system. Then how our signals are flowing, they are not flowing through the Wi-Fi, the signals are flowing through these buses. So whatever the data we are sending to the system, it is somehow it is going by the buses. So you can say that buses are used to set the control signals and the data between the processor and the other components. So this is all about the bus. Now when we are talking about the system bus, when we are talking about the system bus, that what is a system bus? Okay, now when we say that bus is a bus is a electrical pathway, but a bus that connects the major component, CPU, memory and the input output devices of a computer system, it is called a system bus. So we can diagrammatically we can see that here we have got you say CPU, here it is the memory, right? And here we have got the input output device. Clear? Now how it is connected to the system bus? We say that we have got the system bus are of the three types, that is your control bus, address bus and the data bus, if we say. So here different types of buses are there. You can say this is your control bus, this is your data bus, and this is your address bus, right? And if we see this, how these are connected, that control bus, if you say that it is a bidirectional, okay, we are giving this bus, and this data bus is also a bidirectional, if we see, and this address bus is unidirectional, if we see, because we are only finding the address, if we say that we are only finding the address. So what is a system bus? These all are, you say that it is a, you can say that this diagram shows your system bus, that a bus that connects the major components, that is CPU, memory and input output device of a computer system. These are called the system bus. So system bus, what is a system bus? It is a single bus that connects the major components of a computer system. If we are talking that, it is a single bus that connects the major components of the computer system. So it combines the function of your data bus, control bus and the address bus. The system bus, the main purpose of this bus is to transfer the data between the CPU, memory and the input output device. First we have studied that what is bus, then what is a system bus. Now we come an important part of the top of this presentation, that is your bus arbitration. What do you mean by the bus arbitration? That is an important part in terms of your architecture. The bus in multiprocessor system. For the bus arbitration, we have to understand that in multiprocessor system, there are more than one processor, right? Now, which require control of the bus at the system bus at a time. In the previous slide, we have seen that what is a system bus? Connecting all the CPU main parts of the computer to through the bus, right? That is a system bus. Now, when we are talking about the bus arbitration, it means that in a multiprocessor system, there are more than one process which require control of the system bus at a time, at a single time, right? So there a problem comes of the priority. So hence, so if we are talking about the priority, so an appropriate priority resolving mechanism is required so that we can decide that which processor should get the control of the bus. So this is called the bus arbitration. Again, I am repeating that in a multiprocessor system, there are more than one process which require control of the system bus at a time, right? Now, there we read an appropriate priority mechanism is required, that which processor should take the control of the bus. Now, this all phenomena is known as your bus arbitration. Okay. Now, there are, if we are talking about the bus arbitration, then there are mainly three methods which resolve the problem of which resolves the bus arbitration. We know the bus arbitration, but how it is achieved or how it is done, there are three methods. The first one is your daisy chain method, second is your priority, and third one is your independent request method. Clear? Now, when we are discussing about the bus chain method, if we see through this diagram also, but before the bus chain method, I would like to discuss about the bus master. What do you mean by a bus master? We are using this word many times in our slide or in my this presentation also, that what do that all bus master. But what is bus master? See, bus master is a device, if you say that can send a grand signal, if you say in the next device, that which device should get the permission to do that job. So that is a work of the bus master, you say. So you can say bus master. So bus master is nothing, it is a device that gives the grand signal to a system that okay, now this will do this job, now again the next bus master will do this job. So it prioritizes the work of the system, right? Now, when we are talking about the device, daisy chain method, if you see a diagram this here, that how is work, if you see that there are different bus master are there, okay, there are different masters are there, master 1, master 2, if you are saying that master 1, master 2 and the master 1, right? These are, if you can say, these are the different processes, right? Now the permission, now the problem comes, now which processor should use the things, or which processor should take the signal, or which should do the job first in position, right? Now, if we see that in the diagram, you see that all the bus master are in the same line for the bus request, right? Here, this line shows your bus request. If you see that all the bus master are sharing the same bus line, if we are saying that, right? Now, if the bus line, if we are sharing this, what does happen? If the bus have a busy line, if let us suppose that if we have got the busy bus, right, is inactive, then the bus controller gives the control to the bus grant signal. If this busy line, bus busy, is inactive, the bus controller gives the bus grant signal, right? Now, this bus grant signal is propagated signally through all the masters starting from the nearest. So, whenever they give the signal, the first signal gives to the nearby master, right? Then to next master, then to next master. So, the bus master which requires the bus stops this signal, activate the bus busy line and takes the control of the system bus. So, it is, you can say it is propagating like this, serially through all the masters starting from the nearest one. But when we are discussing this daisy chain method, and if you clearly see this diagram, it comes to the knowledge that if the first, those ever the master is in the nearest position, is getting the priority to, you can say it is getting the priority to start the signal, or you can say take the signal or take the control. For this, what happened? If you say that all other bus master has to wait for their term, or wait for their signal, or wait for their terms, right? Ki when all the signals are taken by this. So, what is this taking? It is taking the control of the system bus. So, all the signals are traveling here very late. So, that's why it's not successful. So, when we are discussing about the advantages and disadvantages of the daisy chain method, if you see the previous figure, it is a very simple in design, right? And the line of control are very less. We are very simple design and very less lines we are using. But it has got the one major disadvantages. If you see that its priority is depending upon the physical location of the master. Why? Because the priority is given to the nearest bus master, right? And the propagation delay is also delay due to serially granting of the bus. For example, it is whenever we are giving it the signals, it is always coming it to the nearest one. So it is coming, priority is always given to this one. If this third number bus master needs the signal very quickly, it will not get. All the location, or all, you can say, all the things are going towards the priority. This priority is given to this bus master, right? And the propagation delay is also there. So, if the failure is there, if one device is failed, this entire system, you say, it is failed. So, that is a type of the daisy chain method. Now this is our second part in the bus arbitration. If we say that it is the polling or rotating the priority method. In the daisy chain, the priority is given to the nearest one. But in this, here again, all the bus master is using the same line for the bus request. Okay, things are same, but there is a slight change. What is the change? That we'll see in the next line. We say there that here all the bus master, if you say that, they are using the same bus request. This bus request, they are using the same bus request, all the bus master, right? Now, here this controller, if you see that, generate the binary address for the master. Whichever the master needs the priority, it generates, this controller generates the binary address for that master, right? In response to a bus request, the controller polls the bus master by sending a sequence of bus master address on the address line. So whichever the bus master is requesting for the signal, it generates, the controller generates the binary address for that specific master, right? So when requesting master recognize its address, controller send the address to this address, the signal should to this address the priority should be given, or the signal should be sent in this master, right? So when the requesting master recognize its address, it activates the bus busy lines and takes the control of the bus, right? Again, in this, what we are saying, the single, let us suppose that if number 2, master 2 is sending a sequence, sending the request to the controller, and the controller is generating the address of the master 2, if you say, right? The controller is sending the address to the master 2. So that's why now this controller will send the address of master 2, and this master 2, whenever the controller is sending the address, master 2 is recognizing its address and it activating the busy lines and it taking the control of the bus. But there is a, if you see, now this is all process is going on the polling or the rotating priority method, right? Now, if we see clearly for the polling and the rotating priority method, the master is requesting the controller and controller is sending the address to the specific master, whoever is requesting the request. Okay, so it means that priority is flexible because the priority is set by the controller, whoever is sending the first, the controller is sending the request to the, is sending the address to the specific master. But, and there is again one more advantage. Every master is working differently. So when one module is failed or one master is failed, the one working of the one master is stopped or it is not, it is failed, then entire system is not crashed or entire system does not fail, because other masters are sending the request. They don't have to share the same bus line and the priority is given to according to their request. But there is a one main disadvantage if you see in terms of the architecture. There is a limit for adding the bus master. So whenever we are adding the bus master, it increases the number of address line of the circuit. So if we see this previous figure, let us suppose that if we are adding this one, then our address line will be again, you see that our address, these are the address line, if you see very clearly in the diagram. So how many masters you are going to add? It will increase the address line and that will lead to a complication to our method, right? And we don't want any this type of method which leads to our complication to our circuit. So there is a one disadvantage, that why we rarely use this method for the bus arbitration, that is your adding bus master is different whenever we increase the number of address line of the circuit, right? Now we are discussing the independent request method. If you remember, in the daisy chain, the priority is given to the nearby. Whoever is nearby to the controller, the priority is given to that. In the polling method, we are giving the priority to the that bus master who is sending the request to the controller and controller is sending the address to that specific bus master, right? But there is again disadvantages. To overcome all these things, we mainly work upon the independent request method. In this, if you see the diagram very clearly, all the bus masters have their individual bus request and bus grant line. For example, if you see in the diagram, master 1 has got the bus grant 1, bus request 2, master 2 has got this one, and master again 3 has got this again. So if you are seeing in this diagram, there is an individual bus request and the bus grant line. So now the controller is knowing that which master has requested, because they all have got the different bus request and different bus grant line. That is, master 1 has got the different one, master 2 has got the another this lines, and master 3 has got the other line. So now the controller is knowing the which master has requested, so bus is granted to that master. There is no confusion. So priorities of the master, if you are discussing, in this the priorities of the masters are predefined, right? So bus is granted is based on the priority, provided that the bus line is not busy. If you see that everything, the bus, this bus busy, this line is common, but other things are not common in this, right? So now the controller consists of encoder and decoder logic for the priorities. So main points what we have to keep in the mind is that all the bus master have got the individual bus request and the bus grant line. The second point, the controller should know, the controller is knowing now, because each master has got the different bus request and grant line. The controller is knowing that which master has requested, so bus is granted to that master. So that is the logic behind your independent request method. Now, if we are discussing the bus arbitration in this method, the what main thing we are dealing with, it is very fast and the speed is independent as a number of devices are connected. If you see that each and individual master has got the independent bus lines, right? Now, main disadvantages is that the number of control lines required is more, okay, because each individual bus master has got the individual lines. So connecting a large number of bus master is difficult. Clear? So in this, thank you. But before leaving my this lecture, I have already, if you see that we have discussed about the system bus arbitration and the methods how we can resolve or how we can achieve the bus arbitration. So thank you all.